Hey guys, while you're here on Okinawa, one of the most amazing things to do is to just go walk a beach and see what you find. It is amazing. And we have books in the library about all the different things that you can do. And one that I just wanted to highlight for you today, I'm not going to read it because, oh my gosh, it would take like years. But I want to show you this book. This is an eyewitness book called Shell. Discover the amazing world of shelled animals, their evolution, variety, and habitats. Now on this book, this is your title and this is the subtitle. So Shells is the big title of the book and the subtitle actually tells you what's inside the book. So it gives you a hint about, what's going to be in there. So this one says, discover the amazing world of shelled animals, their evolution, variety, and habitats. So all the animals in this will be shelled animals, okay? So when we go into this book, it just has amazing, amazing pictures. And the first part of it is, well, what is a shell? When we think of a shell, we usually picture the pretty specimens that can be collected from the beach during a seaside stroll. In fact, shell can describe many different things. The word shell actually means a hard outer casing that encloses and protects a variety of things, from fruit to baby birds, from snails to scurrying crabs. A shell, sometimes no more than a hardened skin, sometimes a thick and heavy mollusk shell, is always a means of protection against predators and mechanical damage or against extreme temperatures. Eggshells protect the unborn. Nutshells enclose fruit and protect the seeds that give rise to new life. Many insects are protected by a hardened and segmented outer shell, and heavily thickened shells are found in crabs and lobsters. In living creatures, such as lobsters, the shell is called an exoskeleton or external skeleton. One drawback of an exoskeleton is that it does not grow as the creature does. So the old shell must be shed and replaced by a new one big enough to accommodate the larger animal as it grows. So the book goes on and on about different kinds of shells. Okay, so we have worm shells, a hairy nut, coconut, okay, lucky beans, scorpion, bird eggs, an armadillo. Ooh, gotta get it where you can see it. An armadillo, skull. So these kind of things are really cool. So we're going to look at today the kinds of shells that we have here. And that's creatures with shells. When we look at the different kinds of shells, we can find a lot of the ones that they show in this here. We have all kinds of shells here, including these. Anybody know what those are? Let me see. It's a sand dollar. And we even have a sand dollar beach in northern Okinawa where you can find lots of these. We also have the sea urchin shells, which you can find here. Crabs, of course. So a lot of this you'll find here on our beaches. And so a book like this is really kind of neat, and you can do this online too, where if you find things, you start looking to see what did you find. And in school, I had that display for you guys of shells, and one of the things that I think is amazing is looking at the shells and the art that they are. When you look at their spines, when you look at the way they're swirled, when you look at what's inside of them, it's really pretty fantastic. Just like when you look what's inside of us, we have all these amazing organs. We have the skeleton that holds us up, muscles and tendons and ligaments, and just so much cool stuff. So one of the kinds of shells that they talk about would be snails, the different kinds of snails that we can find. Okay, and there are lots of different kinds here, and the people here a lot of times will take the shells straight from the ocean and with the snail inside and put it in a fire and cook it inside its shell and then eat it. They have it like for when they have fun little picnics at night. So we have all kinds of other snails. Now, this kind of snail we have here, this is the African snail. We'll see those a lot because they come in through. So their shells are a little bit thinner, but quite beautiful. Okay. Homes with hinges. Hinges means that there's two sides to it, like your clams and things like that. So this shows you some of those. And again, I'm just going to do an overview of this book, but I want to show you some cool stuff because I hope that you guys will have a chance to go out to the beach and see all the amazing things that we can find. Because really and truly, there is so much out there. Let's see. Those we don't have. Okay, now sea urchins we do have. Okay, and the thing is too, you need to really pay attention when you're going out to the ocean to find out what you should touch and what you shouldn't. So you need to make sure that you talk with your parents before you handle anything at the ocean, because you don't want to get hurt, because we know that some of the things that are here in our waterways can actually sting us and hurt us quite a bit. Okay, so I wanted to show you just a couple of other ones. Now this is neat because this shows you how a shell grows. Okay, from being tiny and all the way up to quite large. Oh, and let me highlight this though too. We know that here, a lot of times when you find a shell, you really got to pay attention, because if you're going to keep it or think you're going to keep it, make sure that you look inside and see if there's a hermit crab in there. And sometimes you can't even see them. You think there's nobody in there, so nobody's home. And so you're going to take it home, and then you'll get it home and find out that your shell is moving. And all you have to do if that happens is take it back to the beach. Take it back home. Okay? Because you don't want to collect shells that are someone's home. Now, they also talk about that different kinds of shells have things that people want to eat inside. So this one shows you clams and all kinds of different things, cockle shells and different types of shells that people actually eat what's inside of them. You may love that, and some of you may be like, oh no, that's not happening. Okay. We get some of our prettiest jewelry from the ocean, where we get our pearls. And we also use the inside of shells often to make buttons. You probably have some shell-made buttons on your clothing. Buttons made out of shell. Now you also might find some fossils, which is kind of cool to find a fossil on the beach. And the one other thing I want to let you know is that when you see things that are like attached to rocks, like sea urchins and things like that, don't pull them off. They're alive. Let them live their life. Now, once they have died, you'll find them actually on the beach. And when you turn it over, it'll actually be totally clean, because once it's removed, those are clean. Now, when you find other shells, sometimes there's nothing living in it, but there's still some of the dead thing inside of it. And so those shells will be stinky. So you're going to want to take them home and have mom or dad help you in how to clean that up. Okay, because you want to clean up, because otherwise, whoo, do they stink. You won't like it. You won't like it at all. As you go to the beach, you'll notice that there are lots of things that are living on the rocks. There are lots of things that you can pick up. The reefs have so many things that live on them. And we have beautiful coral reefs here. So you'll find lots of amazing things that you can enjoy looking at. And a lot of times, it's not necessary to touch things that are in the ocean. Think of it like this. If you were in the ocean and some big giant grabbed you and picked you up and then threw you across the ocean, really? Would you like that? So my belief is that we're better to just look at things and not touch, and definitely not take them and, oh, look at this, and then throw it back in. Because, wow, really? I just don't think we need to do that. Another thing that you'll find that's really kind of neat is pieces of coral that are on the beach. And those pieces of coral on the beach are fantastic. I've brought lots and lots, buckets and buckets to school, and we've used it for one of the front areas of the school as a decoration for our flower bed. So when you look at that, you'll see all those pieces of coral I brought. I brought hundreds of little shells for that. And it's kind of a neat way to just enjoy what's in our oceans. Also, of course, you're going to find living creatures. If you're lucky, you'll see a sea turtle. And one of my favorite things to find that has nothing to do with shells is I love finding the glass, sea glass. I just think sea glass is beautiful. And of course, if you find a marble, oh my goodness, a marble is fun too. So not only will you find shells out there, but all kinds of great things. So enjoy the outdoors and remember that your nonfiction has amazing things for you to learn about and enjoy in our world. See you later, guys.